Okay, well, hello, folks. We are here for our second installment of our SpireSide Chat. And today, I'm Jake, I'm joined by Rory Woodside. Now, Rory, I asked Dan this on our first installment, and he had a little trouble. What is your job title here?
I am the install and repair manager at Mid Century.
Okay, install and repair. That's fairly important, correct?
I feel it is, yeah.
Yeah, Dan was saying it was just construction. You know, his department was really important, but I think yours is too. I'm going to disagree with him because if we don't have installs, we don't really have customers, right?
Right? I would
Okay.
agree.
So, Rory, walk me through a typical install for a residential customer, if you would. Last time we talked, we made it all the way to the mid, and we were pushing the fiber through. And that actually has a push-pull in there if you'd like to show, but kind of explain to the folks at home what a typical install looks like.
Okay. Well, first of all, we'll get our job, our service order on a phone. It'll tell us basically everything we need to do. We'll head out to what we call the fiber hood, and we'll make one connection with a fiber physically connecting the office equipment with the physical plant. That'll make that connection. It'll get light to the house, which has already been tested and everything.
Yep.
But that is actually what makes that connection.
Does the customer have to be home, or what are the specifics? We need somebody in the house, right?
We would prefer, yeah. I mean, if it was a brand new construction and they didn't have furniture or anything like that in there, we might do it. But generally, if there's things in there, we would need, at least someone age 18 in there to walk us through where they want their equipment.
Okay, so in your steps, did you have some more steps you were going to go through, or can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and ask me a question.
This is a tough interview, folks. So we've made the connection with our physical plant. We've brought in our GigaSpire.
Yeah.
Right?
So then we'll mount this O&T box.
Okay.
Sometimes that's not located in the same place as the GigaSpire, depending on the situation. So this is what puts out the wireless signal. So this needs to be a little more centrally located. That could basically be inside, the basement, just near a power outlet.
Just so long as it's there and can translate the light into some usable internet for us, right? That's basically what this is. So everybody will have two pieces of equipment in their home.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And now, one question that I get on the sales side, and we're going to get back to finishing your thing, is can people have their own equipment? They'll always have to have this, right?
Correct.
And then, like, if they had a new router that they bought and they don't want to sink the money in, they don't have to get this. We would prefer it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's some troubleshooting things that we can do if this is installed. That we can look at how their coverage is, how their signals are, things like that, through that in the cloud, basically. If they have their own equipment, we don't have any access to any of that. So then it's more of a truck roll, or we'd have to talk to them on the phone to walk through some things. So
that means sending somebody out for repair. That's what we call a truck roll. That's his installation and repair part.
correct.
So in our hypothetical install here, we've got this set up in a centrally located spot that's aesthetically pleasing, like you said, and everything's up and rolling. What do we do after that? Do we test? Do we walk around and test anything? Do we change passwords? What do we do then?
We have Wi-Fi analyzer apps on our phone.
Okay.
And then we'll test the signal and see how it is. We can do speed tests off of that app. We can have the customer take devices if they're worried about certain things. Antennas are different and everything, so an iPad may not get as good a signal 100 feet from the router as the phone will, or a laptop. So generally, if it's important equipment to them that they really want to work, we'll have the customer boot it up and check it themselves. Otherwise, we'll do a quick assessment of it, make sure they're getting good coverage, have conversations with the customer to make sure, some people have community areas in their basement. That's the most important place to have it. Some people are gaming in their bedroom or their kids' bedrooms. So everybody, it's a little different on where their preferences are of having everything. We want full coverage. You can't always get that without adding additional devices sometimes, which is essentially our mesh units to extend signal.
Okay, good. I was going to bring that up. Our mesh units, our guys, do we carry those on the trucks with our
We do,
guys?
yes.
And those are $2.50 a month, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, don't quote me on that price, folks. Call in here to get that price. But if you've got, one thing that we run into, we're coming into the summer months, is people want it out at their pool so they can play music a lot. So that might be a case where a mesh extender is good,
Yeah.
right? So if a customer asks specifically, can you test out by the pool? Our
Yeah.
guys will do that for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's kind of why the conversation is important too, because that may change ultimately where we put this originally, depending on,
Right.
if they need it more toward the back of their house.
Yeah.
And they can get away with not quite as good a signal toward the front. Sometimes it'll change where we put that.
A little bit about you. You've been doing this for quite a long time, right?
Yeah, I believe 25 years.
That's it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, you stick with it a couple more years, and
Yeah.
I think you're really good. You got a good future here.
I'm learning.
Well,
definitely
yeah,
learning.
Definitely. Every single day we run into
Yeah.
stuff that we learn about.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that I haven't covered as far as installation? Now, I want to get to repair here soon, and I told you we'll keep this short, so
Right.
we will. But, so installation, we've covered that. We'll
Right.
have, do you guys still do the installation packets, or do we email those to people?
Normally we email those.
Okay.
There's been a few situations where they've wanted a hard copy of
Yeah.
it that we'll take. The only other thing that I can really think of is every once in a while, if someone has office equipment or something like that, that it's really important to have a solid connection and they don't want to rely on wireless.
Oh.
We can hardwire a line
Yeah.
off of one of the 4 ports on there. That's additional cost. It's time and material, but we will run a physical Cat5 line to
Okay.
pieces of equipment for them. We get this a lot from gamers and
Yeah.
people that they're working from home and it's their desktop. So
Because you to this, you're going to get, let's say you get the 250 package on the
Right.
gig. You're going to get that to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this. But over the air, you're going to lose a little bit, right?
yeah, and you're limited on wireless on devices too.
Okay.
A lot of devices aren't going to test, a gig, but they may test 125.
Yeah.
meg.
We see
So-
that a lot on the iPads.
Yeah.
Nothing bad against Apple or anything, but they don't register up to the gig, so a lot of people talk to us about that.
Right.
So that's install, okay? Now, system-wide, we're up quite a bit, but each individual house is a little bit different. You got cats, dogs, kids, every other thing in the world that
Right.
could go wrong in here.
We kind of have a tier 2 group, which is our help desk, that will try to solve problems over the phone, try to troubleshoot with a customer to save us from having to go out.
Yeah.
That doesn't cost.
Most of the time, most calls are solved with
Correct.
tier 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because his guys are busy doing installs, so we try to limit those as much as possible. Now, Rory,
Yes.
is there anything about your job that I missed?
So on the repair side of things, we are also responsible for all of the locating. So
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah, yeah.
someone's planting hostas or tilling their garden or things like that, they'll call in a Julie locate. It's state law. So they'll call that in, and then our group will go out and actually locate those lines to protect our network.
Yeah.
So that things don't get cut. So always remember to call Julie.
That's 811, or like I did this week, so I was doing a little electrical in the backyard, their website.
Yes.
And so our
Yep.
guy, literally only mark in my backyard was our fiber, and
Yep.
it was marked clearly exactly
Yeah.
where it was, and I missed it. I'm really good, right?
Yeah. A lot of companies farm out their locating, but we have always taken care of ours ourselves.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a really good thing for us,
it's-
because
yes.
if we can control everything from frame to finish,
Yeah.
it's going to save us a lot
Yeah.
of headaches.
Yeah, you're not relying on a third party to do
Right.
it. So
All right, folks, if that's all you got for us,
that is all I have.
this has been episode 2 of SpireSide Chat
Right.
with the install, repair, locate,
No, just installation and repair manager.
scheduling. Other than that, you got nothing on your plate.
No. No.
All right, folks, this has been Rory Woodside, Jake Secrist. Thank you very much for tuning in.